All right.
All right.
This time is being recorded. Okay, I'm getting feedback. So it's either Chris or Iman.
I'll call back in. It happened as soon as you put it on record.
Just give us 1 second, everyone. As we figure out, I want to hear that background. It was coming back at me. When they come back on, I think Iman and Chris, if you can hear me, I'm not sure if you're on yet. I'll do it again in a second, but you can just press, you should be able to press *6 on yourselves. Can you hear me, Iman?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, you're still on. Perfect. Awesome. No background noise. Chris, are you there too?
I think he's going to dial back in.
Yeah.
I'm
okay,
back.
We'll give him. You're back?
I'm back.
Perfect. And I hear no background noise. All right, let's get moving along. Welcome, everybody, to Team BC's. We're doing a Monday night call. I think it's, what's today, Columbus Day? So happy Columbus Day, everyone. Love this holiday weekend, getting 3 days off and then an extra day, so this is cool. It's awesome to have everybody on and have a special guest tonight and go over a couple things. But before we get started with all of that, I just want to thank everybody, one, for coming on, and two, just so everybody knows, usually Stacey Wallace does her Sunday night team hall call, so that was not the case. That was moved till tonight. So she's doing one as we speak. So just so you know, I've recorded my call. She records her webinars. So if anybody's missing one or the other, we'll be able to get that played back, and we won't miss a thing. So with all our great technology here. So all things are getting recorded. My call is getting recorded, and then Stacey's webinar gets recorded each week. I don't like to usually, I didn't know that was going to happen, so I don't usually like that to happen because Stacey brings so much to the table and brings a lot of good people on our calls and fills us with some great info to start the week. So just so everybody knows, behind the scenes and on some of the leadership calls that happen, there's really becoming, they don't really want, they want to break away from like Team BC or Team Revo or all Thousandaires. We'll always have those, or we'll always be identified by them, but just so everybody knows, behind the scenes, they're really working out a unity, just Team Solavei, because really that's the way it's supposed to be. It doesn't matter if you're part of this team or you're this leader on this team. It doesn't matter if you're Nathan Gooden, one of the 12, or James Leinhardt or Stacey Wallace. What you're going to start to see over the course of the next few weeks, and things are going to start being developed, is you're going to see a real unity. You're going to see it's going to be open to the field. It's not going to matter what team you're on. Everybody's going to get the info. So everybody can kind of be, driving the same vehicle, and everybody's going down the same path. So we can all plug into everybody's calls because there's so much good stuff out there. It just makes sense. So basically, you're going to see more of a unity being developed behind the scenes. Corporate's working on that with the top leaders so that it seems more like a Team Solavei than anything else. And when you're on Sunday nights with, Stacey Wallace, and we have all Thousandaires on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and Team Revo has their calls, and there's other calls and webinars going on as we go. So it's just going to be unity across the board because, the message is simple. The message should be duplicatable, and pretty much across the board, everybody's doing the same exact thing. So why name one team this when this other team is doing this, and it's the same exact thing? So corporate's coming involved so we can create a headship under one roof. Really, it's going to be Team Solavei across the board, which is very exciting, very fun, just so everybody knows that. And I encourage everybody to plug into those calls. I know sometimes at night I cannot always get on the calls and get on the webinars. So, what's great is everything's recorded. My best time of the day is usually in the morning time, so I can replay stuff, watch stuff, hear stuff. So it's a great tool when things are recorded, and pretty much everything across the board is. Every webinar Stacey does is recorded. All Thousandaires is always recorded. Team Revo has stuff that's usually recorded. We try to record our calls, put them up, just so everybody has an option to, because I know at night sometimes it does get crazy, being out all day, being with the kids or having sports go on, this and that, and then having to get on a call can be kind of tough. So what's nice is sometimes just in the morning to play that stuff and get the information. So I highly suggest to plug into everyone. Listen to all the leaders, because everybody brings something unique, something different to the table, and it works because we have all actually different personalities, and sometimes somebody might be sharing stuff that doesn't really hit where we want to go with the business or how we our comfortability and how we share the business. And then yet you meet somebody else who's another leader, but that guy has the same personality or that lady has the same personality, and what they're sharing really hits you. So the more diverse of different leaders that you hear from, the better off that we're going to be able to create the message we're looking for as we go about our daily, our daily walk here. So tonight, before we get to our special guest, I want to introduce one of my partners who is behind the scenes that does a lot of work, a lot of three-ways, and is a big promoter on the Facebook and always with welcoming people or getting people to make sure they got the right information. Chris Anderhagen, who is one of my partners that we work very closely with in Solavei, is on the call tonight. And what I'm going to do is he's been working very closely with Iman, and he does a lot of talking with Iman, so they've built a real nice relationship. And so what I wanted to do was, have Chris introduce Iman and talk, about some of the things Iman's doing behind the scenes. But Chris is a vital role to what we have done in Team BC, and he's very active, and he's very supportive, and he's very open to work with all people. So it's great to not only have him as a friend, but also as a partner as well, and to be doing this journey together. So Chris, if you can take it away.
Thanks, Chris. That's great. It's interesting you say as a friend. That's one of the things about this business that I didn't realize when I got in it, is how many really important friends I would end up making. And that's been one of the parts of this journey that I really like. And tonight it's my honor to introduce Iman Mitchell. Iman used to be a school teacher. He's a real estate investor. He's a Solavei member. And I'd say it was probably 6 weeks, 2 months ago, I was speaking with him on a phone call, and I'm not even sure how that call originated, and I was kind of explaining to him the 4-step process. And, talking about, show the video, do the 3-way call. And the next thing I know, I'm getting calls from Iman 2, 3 a day sometimes. Can you do a 3-way call? And yeah, sure. I'm doing a 3-way call with him. And what I was really impressed with was I just once talked about do the 3-way calls. It works. And he took that and ran with it. And to be that coachable, I think, is an amazing thing. Since then, I've seen a lot of things he's doing. He's talking to 10 to 20 people a day, and I'm going, Iman, you gotta tell me how you're doing that, because I'm not doing that. I'm not making contact with that many people, and that's kind of what he's going to share with us tonight. So, Iman, are you there?
Yes, I am here, Chris. Can you hear me?
Yeah, definitely. But before you share some of the things you're doing, because they really are impressive, and they're things that I've never heard anybody else doing, which is why, you being good enough to share them with us, I think is great, is how were you introduced to Solavei?
Well, first off, I'm just thankful that you guys have extended the opportunity for me to, talk to the team and definitely provide as much value as possible. I'm just blessed and thankful to God and my team for just being here. I was introduced to this opportunity by Miss Linda Hughes, and believe it or not, I wasn't looking for a business. I was just looking to save money on my cell phone bill, and I saw something she put up on Facebook. So I contacted Miss Linda. I said, hey, Miss Linda, what's this? We had been done wrong by one of the big boys that were our cell phone providers. I said, I'm not trying to build a business. I just want to save some money on my cell phone bill. But once I saw the compensation plan, I said, you know what, this is it. started running, and that was it.
So you saw that, and that was kind of what you liked about it. Is you got it. You saw that you could do more with it than just save on your bill.
Correct. Yes, sir. Most definitely.
All right. Well, as I said, one of the things that I'm so impressed by is, well, your work ethic, but also you seem to come up with these ideas that I haven't heard anybody else articulate, and it's like I'm thrilled with it. And when I started to share them with Chris, I said, "This is what Iman's doing." He's going, "We've got to see if Iman's willing to share them with the team," and obviously you are. So please, give us some pointers, give us some tips on how you're making contact with as many people as you are, and bringing them to the table to do three-ways.
Awesome. Okay. Well, one of the first things I would definitely recommend that a lot of people do is, as you said, I used to be a school teacher, and when I taught school, we would constantly receive these coupons and solicitations in our teacher mailboxes. So I figured once I got into this business and some people are doing flyers, I'm like, well, why not play the other side of that? So it'll be fairly easy for a person to use your, Google, your county school districts, run off your flyers. How I did it in groups of 4. I just did 4 flyers on one sheet, 8.5 by 11 paper, just talking about the Solavei opportunity and with my website and contact number. Ran those off at a local print shop and went to a school. I went to an elementary school, and I remember telling you about this, Chris, on a Friday, and just dropped them off. I said, this is what I said verbatim in case somebody's not really sure what to say. I went to the secretary. You're going to more than likely speak to the secretary. I said, my name is Mitch. I'm a local business owner. I just wanted to drop off some flyers advertising some affordable cell phone service for your teachers. And I was sure to put into that flyer that it was a special directly for teachers, just not to keep it general, but very specific. It was for teachers, $49, unlimited everything. I didn't talk about, make all this money, just strictly pitching the savings, leading with the product instead of not necessarily the opportunity. And really targeting that niche, because you have to realize if you can get a few teachers in a school that's already a built-in network, that's already a very closed community, and it spreads like wildfire. So not only with teachers, you can very easily duplicate that with firefighters, nurses, police officers, any real profession that you can think of that work in that closed community like that. If you can penetrate that market with your material, then, the possibilities are literally endless. So that was one of the things that we're implementing down here.
Iman, with at the school, it sounded like, that the gatekeeper is really the school secretary in the office. That's the person you approach. Is that accurate?
That is accurate. Now, down here, and it's probably like this in a lot of schools, the principal is going to have to be the one that what goes into the box. But, it shouldn't be that big of a deal. One thing I would caution, I wouldn't put the opportunity on the flyer, though, because that to me would come off like, you're just, it comes off not in an unprofessional manner. I would stick to the savings, stick to the opportunity. By default, they'll find out about everything else. But in the meantime, if you're going to do that, just stick with, hey, new cell phone provider, $49, unlimited everything.
And you made enough copies for the secretary. I guess you can probably find out how many teachers are at the school. So all she
Correct.
has to do is put them in the teachers' mailboxes. Is that how you did it?
That's it, and that's how it was disseminated to us when I used to teach. Zelle. So it's beautiful. You give them to the secretary. He or she will do the work for you and put them in the boxes. It's, one school a week, and you with enough effort and consistency, you're talking about doing some serious numbers.
I got to tell you, when I heard this, and I know when I related to Chris, it was like, this is an amazing niche. And then I know you mentioned to me, do it at a firehouse. But I guess, like you said, any niche market where it's sort of a closed group, and especially if you get the gatekeeper to be the one passing it out, I think it's just a great idea. I got to commend you. I really do. Is there anything else you're doing, or any other slants that you're taking that you're having good success with?
Sure. when it comes to recruiting, we'll say, or sponsoring, we'll say, builders, one of the things I attended a training that talked about recruiting professionals. I've had the best luck with people that I don't necessarily know with realtors. I mean, thank God for Google. I mean, Google any realtor in really any area, and I send them these words verbatim, because their email address and their contact number's on there. You can call them or email them, and I tell them this. My name is Mitch. I'm a local business owner, and do you keep your options open to making money outside of what you're currently doing? Or you could say something like, would you be open to a side project that wouldn't interfere with what you're currently doing, be it real estate or possibly insurance salesmen? People that are already professionals, that are used to sales, things of that nature, that are used to producing. But I've had the best luck with real estate agents. I always send my correspondence out there in batches of 10, and anywhere from 1 to 5 will actually respond, and I have yet to get a no in terms of, no, I'm not interested. Now, they don't all, of course, sign up, but they'll always say, well, what kind of side project, or sure, send me the information. They're willing to take a look. Everybody who responds, if I get a response, is willing to take a look at Solavei as an opportunity.
Now, when you first contact them, are you calling them or are you emailing them when you do it?
I stick with email because I stick with batches. I try to work as smart as possible. So if you're doing the email thing, I would strongly recommend you do if you know what a BCC is, I think it's a blind carbon copy, so they know that you're not like mass mailing to folks, but or just do them one by one, personalize it, put their name at the top, of course, and just introduce yourself and say, hey, do you keep your options making money? And if so, here's something that might help you.
All right. Iman, you're too young to know what carbon copy is, I think, except maybe in a school you saw one, right?
No, I'm old enough to know what a card catalog is. Carbon copy, I'm there too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I like your thing about working smart, too, because, it is a numbers game. You've got to reach out to a lot of people. So doing 10 seems like it's a big enough if you're getting 1 to 2 responses out of it, and it's not overwhelming, Now, do you decide, or, how do you work? Do you say, I'm going to do, send out 10 a day on this and then do the schools? Do you kind of, plan your week how you're going to do these projects?
Correct. I keep a tracking sheet. I keep track of flyers that I've handed out, 3-way calls that I've done, exposures that I put out, Facebook posts, everything. And can I say something about Facebook really quick, Chris, if you don't mind?
Yeah, no, please.
Well, with Facebook, what I found the thing that gets the most attention, at least for me, is just telling my story and posting pictures. Like I'll take a picture of my phone, I'll do some videos, but mostly pictures. I don't really use Outreach Manager to post those little videos. I haven't really seen that much of a response from that. But when I put, hey, I just got a phone for $86 and now I'm only paying $49, and we were fortunate enough to build our network, my wife and I, where we don't have a cell phone bill anymore. So that was another post. So obviously people, they're like, hey, well, what's going on? What's this about? So telling the story and using pictures has definitely been the most successful thing for me via Facebook instead of just going to Outreach Manager, just with Facebook.
So, yeah, it keeps it a little more personal. And
correct.
I think that probably, one of the things that I tell people is, we're all writing our story today. I want to be able to say, and I think obviously everyone on this call, that we made $650 our fab bonus.
Oh, yeah.
That's our story, and if
we
can share that story, and like you said, you do it in a personal way. And speaking about personal, and I didn't ask you earlier, I think I know, but I'm going to let you articulate, why are you doing this business? What is your reason? What's your, we all use, what's your why? But, what for you, what's the point?
My why is Mrs. Mitchell, my lovely wife of coming up on, 5 years roundabout. It's my goal actually to replace her income by the end of this year, and I believe this is the vehicle that's going to do it for us. And so that, in a nutshell, is my why, is the ability to retire my wife.
That I thought that's what it was, because I actually saw something you put on I think it was LinkedIn, that was your goal, and I was hoping that's what you'd say. So that's terrific. Is there anything else you want to share this evening?
Just to say a big thank you to my team, Eddie Mitchell, Mrs. Mitchell, Rudy from San Antonio, Monique Parker, Angel, Portray, Julia, of course my wife, Tamika, Eddie's wife, and of course Miss Linda Hughes for sponsoring me. I feel like we're really going to make history with this thing, so I'm just thankful for a great team of builders and go-getters, and we are going to just keep an ear out for us. We promise we'll make you guys proud.
You already have, Iman. I thank you very much for sharing this stuff with us. I keep learning things from you, and that's one of the things I love to do is learn. And having you as part of Team BC is great. So again, thank you very much for sharing with everybody, and thanks Linda for bringing you into this business. So at this point, I'm going to turn the call back over to Chris Catania. So thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Chris and Iman. Hey, Iman, if I could just ask a couple questions myself as I'm listening here and taking some notes. Sure. When you were sending out emails, you said one of the target markets you said was real estate people?
Yes, sir.
Is that okay? So that you're finding a pretty big return is
definitely.
Okay. Now, so when you send out an email, you're doing a basic. Could you possibly, break that down maybe in Facebook, just to come to the, put it on the team page. Just say, maybe you could just copy one of the things you've done, just to say what you're saying to a couple of people, so we could see it firsthand.
Sure.
Awesome.
Most definitely.
And now, were you I'm wondering when me and Chris were speaking, maybe it was last week. Were you doing something with Craigslist, not so much the normal means of advertising, but looking for people that have their resume out or something like that?
Correct. Yes. One of the things I do as well is I scour Craigslist resumes. Now that's a little more time consuming because in all honesty, you'll see the resumes on there. They'll no sales, no home-based business, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, still exposures is still the name of the game. I do those in bunches of 10 as well. I've had some good responses via Craigslist. I actually got a guy that signed up using the Craigslist technique. So, looking for people who are actually looking for a quote-unquote traditional job or some sorts of ways to make money they're definitely very responsive as well. So that's definitely another tool that somebody could utilize as well as using Craigslist resumes in any city, of course, because all of the cities are listed there.
Gotcha. Awesome.
And what I sent. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Keep it going.
Oh, well, no, what I was going to say is what I send them is I verbatim say, my name is Mitch. I'm a business owner. I'm looking to expand my business in your area, and if you'd like, I can email you our company overview. If they say send me the information, then manager and go from there. But that's the whole system.
So you'll send, and then even with the real estate, like when you send out the emails to like the real estate people, is that the same thing? If they have an interest,
it's all in the outreach manager. Correct. As soon as I get an affirmative from them, every single lead goes in the outreach manager, so I don't lose them.
Gotcha. So they have an interest. You send them a video, you lock them into Outreach Manager, and once they watch that video, if they have more info that they want, that's when you're getting on a three-way. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, and the last part of the system that I have to stress is that once they see the video, it's going to be a yay or nay, but then I know I have my phone number on there. Once they call me after they see the video, I know that they're interested, so I'm not wasting my time. You let the video do the talking. You don't necessarily have to feel like you have to explain everything to them. Use the tools that are in place. That way, once they come back, once they've seen the information, they know exactly how it works. They have no false expectations or things of that nature. So that's proven to be very helpful. So when I get someone on a three-way with you or Chris Anderhagen, they've already seen the information. They know exactly what the company offers.
And what video do you use the most?
The most is the 6-minute one. However, I will say with certain professionals, I'll use the 39-minute vision video to show the growth potential. You know, if it was with certain real estate agents or maybe certain mortgage brokers, things of that nature. I'll have a business guy in San Antonio who's very interested in the business. I send him both videos. Sometimes I'll do that too, just to show them, hey, it goes beyond cell phones. This is where we're starting, but you know, if you get in and get started now, as the company progresses, I mean, you're talking about generational wealth opportunity for that at a ground floor level. So play it by ear, but yeah, the 6-minute video is the one I use the most.
Okay. Do you use the other one, that other 3-minute video as well, or you think the 6-minute is really that's the key one?
Yeah, the 6-minute one got me, and so I stick with the 6-minute one. That's the one I use the absolute most. You know, the 3-minute one, I just stick with the 6-minute one. I just say that's what I do.
Perfect. That's good to know. I like it. And just so everybody knows, Iman is having incredible results. And it's amazing to see. So, you know, some of this stuff that Iman's sharing with, I hope people have taken some notes. Definitely we got the call being recorded, so that helps as well to kind of listen back in. So quick rundown. So basically, and just help me along as I go, you're doing stuff with flyers, which you kind of create 4 to a page, and you're looking to hit a certain niche, whether it's teachers or firemen. You're trying to alert those people that there's a great deal for if they're teachers, if they're a great deal for if they're in the firehouse, how they can take advantage of a new company that's coming out that has a great savings. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so that's one of the routes that you have gone. On that flyer, what is that something that's been posted that we could see kind of, was it something that's been that you're using all the time, or you change it up, or is there kind of a set format that you use?
It's set format. It's basic banner. I think I grabbed a woman off of Google Images talking on the phone. Everything else is pretty much just set. It's just my website, the $49. Simple and to the point. Stress the benefit. Like on the top headline, we're proud to offer our teachers. Then it says Solavei, $49, unlimited everything. And here's my contact information and website. That's it.
Excellent. So that's a great point. And then the next point is you'll look at local real estate agents and other type of business-minded or people with many contacts, and
that's
shoot
correct.
them an email.
Yes,
shoot them an email with the. Go ahead.
Correct. Oh yeah. No, not local. No sir. Anywhere. I'm dead set on California. Yeah. We're getting into California. Got my word on that. But yeah, local as well. But yeah, I'm not limited. No sir.
Now, do you pick certain cities that you want to, or do you check to make sure, hey, this area is great coverage, so I know if I'm going after people in this area?
Yes sir. Coverage map. Go by the coverage map. Wherever there's service, that's where I want an outlet.
So go by the coverage map. That's even. You could even look at that to certain schools and stuff like that, or firehouses, to make sure that they're covered as well. So coverage map is a key to making sure the target market you're hitting. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so with those real estate agents and different business owners, you have your little write-up that you you send to them. If there's an interest, they send something back, and that's when you hit them into Outreach Manager, send them off a video so they can take a quick look.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then the next one is, like you said, a little bit more in depth, but it works as well. Craigslist resumes, and that's what you could just go to Craigslist, because I'm unfamiliar with that. You could just go to Craigslist and look under actually a resume section that people have their resumes out there.
Yes, sir. Resumes are on the left-hand side. If you go to the Craigslist website and look to the left, right underneath the search option, it'll say resumes there. And you can, it'll bring up all the resumes at the date they were posted, and you just kind of go through them. That's the most time-consuming one. Realtors, though, if they're a real estate agent, you can just shoot them off. But resumes, you kind of got to make sure that, Craigslist is kind of, so you kind of got to cut through all the extra stuff to get to actual real people. But they're out there, and they're looking.
Awesome.
Hey,
that's good.
Hey, Chris, let me just interrupt for a second.
Sure.
Iman, if you had a local real estate company that was fairly large, what do you think about using the same flyers but for realtors that you were using for the teachers? Because like where I live, there's some, 50 and 60 agent real estate companies, and I'm thinking in my mind I might just drop off the flyers, and because I know there's mailboxes there.
True. With realtor, okay, just with me, Mr. Anderhagen, how I feel about it is, if I'm talking to a real estate agent, I'm honestly going to approach them in terms of the opportunity.
Gotcha.
I wouldn't necessarily pitch save. Teachers, hey, I just want to help you guys save money. Realtors, hey, look, the market's kind of down depending on where a lot of realtors are. Folks aren't getting approved for loans. Come on, you got to have something to supplement that income. Here's something that might interest you. Then if they're not interested in that opportunity, then okay, we can save money. But yeah, that's how I would approach that. If they don't want to be a builder, they can be a customer.
Gotcha.
But
All right.
be up to you. Play it by ear.
Appreciate it. Chris, back to you. Thanks.
Awesome. So, Iman, I just want to say thank you again for this information. Anything that you could actually post to Facebook would be a big help, just so we could see some of the material you might be using. That would be a big help to us. We greatly appreciate that. But we definitely thank you for your hard work, for everything that you're doing, your passion, your love for what we're sharing. We thank you that you are the revolution, and we thank you that you got on with us tonight and shared tonight. And again, this call has been recorded, so people that want to play back and listen in, I'm sure Mr. Joe Dickinson will help us out with getting this posted right away and getting this up so we can listen in. But again, Iman, thank you. Chris Anderhagen, thank you for coming on. And guys, let's keep the vision before us, keep the dreams alive, and keep taking one step at a time. I've learned from my previous businesses, the information, the most valuable information that was ever shared to me was to make 2 contacts every single day and just stay consistent. And I never understood that until I actually tried it. And I never realized how powerful that little thing was, to make 2 contacts every day, whether it was a failure or it was a success. I made 2 contacts a day, and all it taught me was to stay consistent with the business, and it proves itself to work. So, again, guys, take that and take all that stuff that Iman has shared with us tonight. Use it in your approach in sharing Solavei. And, again, thanks, everyone, for coming out. Look for the recording, and we will touch base soon. Talk to you all soon. God bless you all. Bye-bye.
Take care. Thank you all.